If you watch my videos, you already know about my love for the Kardashian family. And, I usually have very nice things to say about them. And this is yet another video where I'm going to be praising a Kardashian. So if you don't want to hear about how great the Kardashian family is, you might want to turn this off right about now. So here's the deal. Khloe, the funniest Kardashian, posted a heartwarming message on social media recently. And it has a lot of people talking, so I'm going to read it to you. First of all, she posted this message. She said, and I quote, "Sometimes we have to stop being so giving to others because in the process, we end up destroying the part of us that needs to be giving to ourselves." And this was a quote, I guess, by RG Moon. Then she posted this comment, which says, and I quote, "I find that people may be practicing self-care on so many levels, but abandon themselves emotionally. So many search for others to make them feel whole. Try to stop searching for your missing pieces in other people or material things. Self-love or personal happiness should never be contingent on success because there are always failures to contend with no matter what level. Self-love is dynamic and runs deep. When we act in ways that expand our self-love, we begin to expand our minds. We start to notice the parts we once abandoned. We will find dimensions of our soul that needs attention too. We begin to know exactly what we deserve, and we shouldn't settle for anything less. Don't apologize for your past, for it made you who you are today. Make your past fuel your future and the way you choose to live. Be in the now. When your intent is to love yourself rather than abandon yourself, you start being able to feel compassion for your past choices. You will start to be proud of the progress you've made in life instead of letting your past control your present. Let it fuel your daily evolution to greatness. Don't look at your past as a mistake. Look at how far you've grown and be grateful. You will finally begin to grow and elevate to a better you. You define your worth. Don't ever give anyone else that much power over yourself. Less judgment, more dynamic, unbiased self-love." End quote. So there you go. These are some very powerful and intelligent words from your girl Khloe. And I love where she's going with this because a lot of people, they put themselves in a position in life where they think that the only way that they're going to be happy is if they find someone to make them happy. And the key to happiness is actually making yourself happy. And if you can make yourself happy while you're by yourself, then you can draw in the energy that you need and create the emotional environment to attract and to allow into your life somebody who can help make you happier. But as far as you being happy, you have to take the first step yourself, because if you're not happy with yourself, you may never find happiness that you can share with another person, because that's what it's about. It's about two happy people being with each other, because like attracts like. And like they say, misery loves company. You have a lot of miserable people. Hell, some of the people in my comment section, nothing else better to do than come by my comment section and harass me, just talking real extra crazy, because they have nothing to live for. The only thing that's keeping them from not committing suicide is their hatred for me or for other people, because they probably do it to other people as well. I can't be the only person that they hate this much. Deep down inside, they hate themselves because they're ugly or whatever's wrong with them. Life sucks. So they're like, well, you know what? I'm going to take it out on you. I'm going to put my problems on you. Instead of them, doing some soul searching and getting themselves together, they're like, well, why would I do that? That would take work. It would take self-reflection. And when I find out whatever my flaws are, that means that I have to admit what's wrong with me. No. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to admit to any flaws that I may have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, this stranger on the internet is my problem. And Khloe can definitely relate to this because of the ridiculous things that people say to her. I can't even imagine what people say to her in person, because I've read some things in the internet where I just sat back and said, well, how in the world, could she handle this type of stuff? I mean, people saying things like her niece, Nori West, is going to grow up to be a quote unquote hoe like Kim Kardashian, her sister. That's the type of stuff that people are saying. I mean, Nori is a little baby, and here are people, grown adults, harassing a baby on the internet because they hate the Kardashians that much. And anybody who says that these people are not mentally ill, hey, I don't know what to tell you. I would have to say that you're probably mentally ill too if you don't think that these people are mentally ill. And yes, I've seen numerous comments on different websites. You know what? I actually have a folder bookmarked because I was thinking about doing something like whether it's a documentary or even if it's just a YouTube video. But yeah, I actually have a folder of different websites where basically the comment sections are going in so hard on the Kardashians, slandering their name. I had to like start bookmarking it to prepare because I feel as if I need to bring this information up at a later date and show people like, look at what the Kardashians have to go through. Because people talk about how superficial they are and all this other nonsense. Is like, we don't really know who they are, you know, in totality, because, you know, unless you met them and you've been around them enough to know that information. Because even if you read a book that they wrote about themselves, of course, there's going to be information left out, because who's going to put every detail about their life in a little book? You know what I mean? Who can fit all of that information there? But at the end of the day, there's people on the internet that are saying all sorts of raggedy things about these people that they have no idea of the character of. They're like, well, I see Kim Kardashian taking selfies and I know she did a porno, so therefore her family is just a bunch of heathens. They're a bunch of bad, superficial people who only care about themselves. In reality, they have big hearts. At least from what I personally seen, they seem to care about society. And, you know, they speak out against BS a lot. And it's crazy because they're very famous. In fact, they're the most famous family in America other than the family that's in the White House, the Obamas. You know, it's the Obamas, then the Kardashians in America. And they say a lot of important things. You just have to sit back and actually listen to them or read things like this that they post online. And, you know, they don't just live in this little box where they just take selfies all day. People are like, man, these people don't even work. How do they have so much money? Yeah, like, how do they generate hundreds of millions of dollars? Let me see. They act, sing, model, they do reality TV, they have endorsements, they have lots of different business ventures going on, but people don't want to admit that. They sell makeup, they do cooking shows or cooking tutorials like Kylie does on, I think, on her application. They have these makeup tutorial websites, they sell clothing. If anything, you need to ask yourself this: what don't they do? I mean, their mother is a genius manager. Their father, Robert Kardashian, was a genius lawyer. You know, two geniuses got together and started a family. Unfortunately, he passed away. And then Kris Jenner went and moved on and continued to produce winners. And I know a lot of people are sitting back like, wow, you know, I wish I could have been a part of something like this. You know, they're one big happy family that sticks together, does business together, looks out for each other, supports each other. They have a support system like most of us could never even imagine being a part of. They are their own network. But anyways, I digress. Some people just don't get it. They just look at these people and it's like seeing mannequins or something like that. They don't really believe that these people are real flesh and blood human beings. You know, they get dehumanized constantly. It's just amazing. And it's like, you wonder why these gorgeous white women in that family have this deep bond and connection to black men. You ever think maybe because the hatred that people have for them is just merely skin deep, and maybe they can just relate to black men, like automatically being hated on sight? Could that be a part of it? I'm just asking. Anyways, let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine. Shout out to Khloe. Thank you for posting this very important message. Hopefully it will open some people's minds and some people's hearts to the fact that you have to love yourself if you want to be loved, because that's the first step to receiving the love that so many people long for, that a lot of people just never find. So hopefully this will help some people to be more compassionate and more open-minded. So thank you, Khloe. You saved the day once again. Meat Magazine.